Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is nice to see we got 67 subscribers. That's pretty cool. I do have I got like 25 cryptos lined up, and they're all kind of like the Bob Alice PDI. And the ones that I've kind of done all around in here, they're kind of low on price and it might have some potential to move up. And I kind of like finding those, right? It is indeed cool. I might put the stocks on hold because, like I said, so far I've been doing a lot of crypto, and it seems like a lot of people like the crypto so far. On this video here, I did throw stocks out there. It got 14 views, so I'm probably gonna hold off on that. Maybe I'll start something new and I'll just do a video on a stock when I see something goes, and maybe hold it for 3 months, maybe 2 years. I'm not sure, but because if it goes down against us, right, we might have to hold for a little while longer there. But sometimes they do move up in a few months and make some profit and then out. I know M1 Finance that I did the video on before is more for like a long-term thing, but I don't want to kind of hold a long-term portfolio and then back and forth. I'd rather kind of get in on some stocks that have the potential within 3 months, make some profit, and then if not, we hold it. Okay, whatever, right? But maybe I can do that on Robinhood or something because I do have an account with Robinhood, and I can play with stocks that way. But at the same time, now that I have 25 cryptos to do, and that's just looking at a few cryptos that I was going through and kind of analyzing, that's a lot. And I can get even more. But I think because I'm a new channel, it might be kind of fun to kind of introduce people on some unknown cryptos out there or something that may have potential, that I'm looking at, and just we'll see how it goes, right? They may be duds, they may be really good, but yeah, I think it'll be fun moving forward. I've already done with these here. There's so much on the Pulse chain blockchain that I can continue going in on. There's a lot of opportunity on all these, but why not give some of these other, cryptos a chance and create some fresh eyes like ourselves to look at them. Marcellus here. Hi there, buddy. I'm glad to see that you found me here on the video. I'm glad that you are talking about DigiByte and HTML coin, and that's exactly what I'm kind of looking at, right? DigiByte and HTML coin were like these low coins. So was Dogecoin back in the day too. People weren't looking at that. In fact, I even did a paid video on that, and I got a lot of backlash from people saying, Dogecoin, what is this? I don't want to. And well, it ended up going up and made people a lot of money. Those who held, well, you're sailing the seas now, enjoying life. But it really did really well. So HTML coin kind of went up, and did its sideways thing for a while, and I haven't checked that in a long time, to be honest. But good old HTML coin, I do remember that, and I think I was hoping for that to be another, what do you call that, Dogecoin or something, right? We were looking at some cool cheap coins that could really go to the upside there, because I think you can get you could have got like 1 million of those HTML, or even 10 million of them or something back in the day. We were just stacking those. That was fun times because they were so cheap. But anyway, we have Kaiser here, the Redbeard. Oh, one thing too, Marcellus, I'm doing Solana today because you had written a bunch of those down there. Some I'm not quite familiar with. Some of it I have heard, but Solana, yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I'll do one on Solana, and then we'll move through and see about doing the others. But I definitely appreciate you putting down some requests. So that's great. You're my first request, I believe. So yeah, Solana it is for today. Now, Kaiser the Redbeard, you said, I thank you for your comment too, because that's really cool. You wrote a lot there, and I appreciate you there, buddy. The thing is, here with pWBTC, you asked me something in regards to its insights on the potential of pWBTC in relation to Bitcoin are quite intriguing. Let's see what else you said here. How do you think market sentiment will influence its price trajectory in the coming months? That's a good question. I mainly only care about the analysis, the TA that I do, the patterns. I feel like a lot of things on the outside is kind of noise, and the patterns to me are very powerful. They're time tested, they're respected on, and I think that is enough for me to kind of just go ahead and move on. And of course, I take my speculative risk in that manner. But what the thing is there's a lot of things that I like about pWBTC because it does indeed have a good founder. Okay, that's one big thing, and an innocent founder on top of it who was just won his case with the SEC defeating them in that sense. So that is really cool to have that, and somebody like him who is passionate about crypto, very smart, These things play a big role, especially when there's a lot of new investors looking at Pulse Chain itself. And when you have like a rare gem like pWBTC on there that is scarce in value, and supply as well, but I mean cheap in value and scarce in its supply, I think that's massive, and there's just not enough people that know about it yet. And me doing a video like this hopefully brings some fresh eyes to it. And I think that in the future, there's going to be a lot of other people doing videos on it and bringing more eyes to it as well as Pulse Chain rises up there, if it keeps doing a great job. And not only that, there's a lot of investors out there that are looking for opportunity, and something like Bitcoin, when you hear the word Bitcoin, that's pretty impressive. And the fact that the pWBTC is tied to Pulse Wrap Bitcoin, right? With I think it's, was it? Oh, I read that one article back. Was it Bybit? I don't remember, but I think that that right there for me personally was kind of like a hook when I looked into it. Make sure that there's with the admin keys and things like that, and it takes multiple people, and they can't really mess with it so easily or whatnot. But that was important to me, and I thought, okay, this is cool, along with Richard Hart. So I'm looking at it from my perspective of why I jumped in on it, and the fact that I was like, you know what, when Bitcoin rises and moves up, more eyes are going to come on this. We do have the what is that, the SEC and all the regulations and everything as we're moving forward, the signing of Trump signing signing things moving forward in favorable for crypto. I just think in general it's looking nice. So yeah, I'm probably explaining too much and kind of rambling here, but I don't know. I just kind of do things on the fly, guys. I don't really think too much on things. I just look at charts and patterns and just kind of go forward, But I did like that whole thing with the Pulse Chain community and the fact that they have things that can move to parity with other cryptos that are high up there in value. So it's opportunity, right? And I think a lot of people, when they find out that there's opportunity, are going to possibly jump on this stuff. And I did. I'm smart in that sense. I like to trade smart. I like to buy smart investments. And I like to also have my portfolios that are high risk, low risk, and, so that's that there. All right. I hope I answered your question there. And I hope you have some pWBTC. And if so, congratulations on your move up on that. Let's take a look at that, in fact. I know I put the link in the description. And I was talking about it at 189. Yeah, $189 right there. My mouse moving over. And it is, let's click on this. Deck screener. Is it this one? Yeah. Let's take a look. I know, like I said, this video is on Solana. Sorry. Just checking it. So $583. So yeah, we definitely moved up there. And PDI did the same and kind of pulls, Teddy Bear is doing the same. So these are nice. These are really nice moves here. So yeah, 583. Cool. Let's go back here now. And yeah, of course, when I first started the video, I was looking for things. I mean, look at the TA, right? That's what I was talking about earlier, time-tested patterns. This is why when it comes to the fundamentals or market sentiment and all that stuff of so much out there, I just look at this here, and this is what I love to do. And this kind of, as you've seen, when the timing is right and everything is respected, things seem to move really well. So, okay, so let's go ahead and look now at Solana. So I have it up here. We're just going to use this one. I got my tool out. Let's refresh it here. So it's sitting at $176.76. So we could see that it's got two nice big highs right here. Big high and a big valley rounded up and high to the upside. There's a lot of cool patterns in here that kind of helped move this all along the way. It's really cool. I know I do a long-term one all the time. So this is the max chart. I know I see, okay, there's here too. We're doing top-down analysis in a sense. So there's a beautiful pattern in there and in here. all of them, right? I'm always going to see them, guys. But okay, so let's just do this one here. This is a 1 month. I mean, if you, yeah, because that's what I kind of did before. At first, I was doing some videos where I was doing them like the long-term ones, and then recently I started kind of honing in like teddy bear. Kind of started to go to a shorter time frame and then do a little analysis there, and that kind of explaining things, and hopefully people learned on that, and it went up, and yeah, so money was made there. That's good news there. Let me look here at Solana now. So let me get my little tool. I already see everything popping out here. So what we have is, oh, this is, yeah, that's kind of a long, well, I mean, I could draw it that. Yeah, let me just, let me start from the left, like we always do. We'll work our way this way. So let me just pull, yeah, well, I could, give me a second here. So this guy right here is going to be, I don't want to, okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm just wondering if I should pull back to a longer time frame, because this right here has some patterns in here, but there's patterns within patterns, and I need to see what's over here on this side to help me move to see what's going to be a lower support line right in here. But let's skip that. Let's just look at what's happening right here. Okay, so I'm gonna get off this right here because I was gonna, but I'm missing data potential over here. But there is stuff in here, but I just want to make absolute sure that, anyway, it's just a perfectionist thing in here. All right, so move here. Let's just take this one here. Okay, so now what I want to do is draw this. Let's see what I see here. Okay. Down. Okay, the thing with this one here is I got the high a little bit. It's a little bit higher there. That's okay. We'll just extend it. We can see that with our eyes. So let's go ahead and move this up here. Okay. We got a breakdown here of this. Once it came down, it broke down. Perfect. Now we'll do the necklines here. We'll get the low there. So let's move those over to the future. Let's get our low. I'm keeping my eye right here. So I want to just a tap there. This way we know it's there. Okay. So here we go here. We go diagonally up. Ooh, we got touch right there. Okay, so it rejected this here. See that? That's why it went up that high and fell, came up. Rejection here, down, came up, broke above for a short time, came down, hovered below that, and is still hovering below that now. So this is our trend line that we're looking at for breakage here. Now let's take these highs here and get them right on the top there. There we go. So now we have this high and this high projecting to the future. We have that resistance right there. Perfect. Okay. So, yeah, definitely am looking at this here and seeing, even within this, we have this guy. And that's where we're kind of at, but can it reach back up into the channel? See how it's kind of resistance right here? In and around $180 we're looking for. If it can get inside this channel, we'll find some support here. Okay, that's what I'm looking at right there. If it doesn't, then we could look for a pullback on this guy right here at 170. Okay, short term. So, but maybe a bounce here and we're being respected and moving to the upside. Okay, we got the big pattern. I'm not going to draw that because it's in, yeah. But I just want to keep this simple right now, and I want to draw this high right here to this high. Okay, make sure our highs are there. Extend that out into the future. And this is an ascending. Put this here, come on. Move that up there, perfect. So we have a head and shoulders to the downside right here that actually failed, right? Because if it would completed itself, it would have went down here, maybe giving us a diagonal move up to the upside there, but it didn't. It went up here, made a higher high, but then ran out of steam You can see how these candles here were pretty mediocre there, and this guy could have put an overshot, right? Just an over big one there, and people rejected it down to the downside, right? Solana got rejected to the downside, and where it bit support right on the neckline there. See that big fat candle stopped, went below a little bit there, but you can see the resistance here. Little candles, real hesitant there, finding resistance right on that trend line. Coming down, boom, trying another time to make another big candle here, stopping, but people said nope, rejection, right down to the downside. So it comes down, another big candle here, and you can see how Solana slowly started to kind of trickle itself up there after those big moves. They're trying to work it back up, okay? But they work it back up into the channel, the little triangle here. Well, it's turning into a triangle, but little channel here. Came up, touched the top of the head and shoulders pattern. You see how much it respected the lows? Now it's respecting the tops there, see? Now it went and touched, rejected, fell below, and we're just playing below that line again, once more like we did back here. However, we don't have a big move, a big push, a big red candle like this one here. Instead, we have some nice smooth movement here. So that's why I think that right now this is a hesitant candle right there. But could it come back up and come inside here and go above $180? Absolutely. And then start marching its way up diagonally there and up to the upside. When we draw our trend line from down here, remember, this is short time frame on the monthly right there. And if we take that trend line there and we extend this to the bottoms there, we'll just move that out into the future. Look at that beautiful precision touch there. So we have a point of contact here on the low. We have a beautiful touch where we're connecting it to right there, 1, 2, and in the future we have 3 and 4. See that? 2 support levels on the inverted head and shoulders pattern. So that is a beautiful support. The left shouldered head, left shoulder, right shoulder are offering another support resistance. So we have 1 and 2 for support, and we have 1, up here, 2 and 3 levels of support. Okay, where price can go and tap in and around. But I feel like this is going to be pretty interesting because look at this left side, this leg coming all the way up here. It's moving up really nice and up to the upside to test that. So could it be that we have the inverted head and shoulders and a retest of this 85 level on the right side now, and maybe a breakout, or it may respect it and fall back down into here? But you can see we're in this range here, and we have our trend lines now, okay? They are very powerful. They're not weak, and the reason why I say that is because look in the past and how we went over how well they were respected with precision. Okay, even down in here, look at that. You can see the necklines of this inverted head and shoulders pattern is respecting these 2 lows from our pattern here, okay? As well as this right here was respected and fell. Now from the lows here, 1 and 2, we have the inverted head and shoulders pattern with the head and the right shoulder being respected, right? Respecting, the trend line from here and here into the future. So right there, that is enough for Solana for me for today, sitting at $176.76. I hope you can see what I drew there. It's very simple. It's basic on the 1 month time frame. Not doing really a top-down analysis. Like I said, we'll just keep this simple. But in short here, I did ramble a lot in the beginning of the video. But if you like this here, thumb up the video. Hopefully this gives some educational understanding as to what Solana is doing it from my errand analysis. You know, you guys enjoy my analysis, and okay. So yeah, like the video, comment, subscribe. Remember, this is all for fun. I'm not providing any type of professional advice. I'm not a professional. And also read the disclaimer in the bottom, in the description of my video there too. I always get kind of tied up with talking about the disclaimer, but it's important, right? So yeah. Okay, everything you do and trade is at your own risk. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have a good one. Thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.